This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 1181, Doors Worth Closing by Ginna Martineau, and I'm Justin Malik, the guy who's been reading articles, book excerpts, even student essays to you every day, including holidays, for over 3 years. It's always with permission from the authors or websites. And like I do occasionally on the show, I have another student essay to share with you today. I've partnered with Dr. Patti in his classes at Appalachian State University. He created an assignment for his students that fits really well with this show, and we picked 2 to feature. I'll do one today, the day I head out to Orlando. Also, my business partner Lee, his birthday is today, so happy birthday to him. Fun that I get to see him today in Orlando since I see him probably just a couple weeks a year. And then I'm going to read another essay in a few days, the day I get back from Orlando. So today's essay comes from Ginna Martineau. She's studying psychology and recreation management at Appalachian State University. Her current endeavors include training her pet pig, Linus, to be a certified therapy animal, which is pretty amazing. Her passion for mental health and the outdoors fuels her goal of one day being a farm or wilderness therapist. So cool. And I have her essay in the blog at oldpodcast.com. And with that, let's get right to hearing her essay and start optimizing your life. Doors Worth Closing by Ginna Martineau. From the time I took my first steps, prancing around on my tippy toes and spinning in circles was protocol anywhere I went. The world was my stage, and I made sure everyone knew it. But blossoming into the prima ballerina I dreamt of becoming brought many challenges. I was obligated to dance with pulled muscles and broken toes. Costumes cost an average of $300 a piece, and single parents made transportation difficult. This magical world of ballet proved to be a domain of unhealthy self-expectations. I was graced with advice from dance teachers and coaches telling me to never give up. Their words were encouraging, especially as I gazed across the studio and noticed I towered over the other girls my age. I knew never giving up was valuable advice, but for a long time I believed it was the only way to succeed. I've come to realize that Western culture tends to romanticize perseverance. We paint beautiful pictures of struggle and determination by praising the success stories that involve overcoming countless setbacks. Surely the stories of never giving up are inspiring, but such a rigid mindset around quitting can also be detrimental to our health and happiness. I had a unique experience in my interpersonal communication class this past semester at Appalachian State University. It reminded me of the old adage attributed to Alexander Graham Bell: when one door closes, another opens. My professor, Dr. Patti, showed me that deeply listening to yourself and identifying your needs can make you a better, happier instrument for communicating genuinely with others. To me, he also emphasized the often forgotten ending to Bell's saying, quote, "We often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us," end quote. Our lives present us with the tools we need to build our dreams around the inevitable obstacles we face. That those dreams cannot change is a toxic idea that keeps us running in circles. My professor reminded me that we don't have to wait for the door to be slammed in our faces. We can learn to be courageous and close some doors ourselves. That was advice I wish I'd embraced sooner. Communicating with myself more has shown me that just as people and relationships evolve, so do their passions and aspirations. Learning to trust my intuition and lean into the discomfort of change highlights the moments in life when it's okay to give up. Unhealthy relationships, jobs that leave you exhausted and unsatisfied, college majors or hobbies you no longer have enthusiasm for, opportunities for change are all around us. Yaten-shi is a Buddhist phrase that describes this normal human experience of hopelessness. Essentially, it means totally and completely tired out. It reminds me that abandoning hope and giving up is a difficult and beautiful truth of existence. Yaten-shi is a form of radical honesty that gives us space to relax and re-examine our reality in the present moment. The ability to cut our losses and walk away is a noble pursuit of self-preservation. Psychologists Carsten Roche and Gregory Miller have even coined a term for it called goal disengagement. If you're interested in this topic, you can learn more about it by checking out an article written by Dr. David Feldman in Psychology Today titled, "Why Giving Up Can Sometimes Be Good." The article explains how giving up is an essential, adaptive ingredient to emotional well-being, as well as a sign of strength, not weakness. Stepping away from things that cause you to lose sight of who you are is a powerful, discounted part of being a full person, and it should not come with any shame. How do we do this? How do we know when it's really okay to give up? The scariest part of the process for me is noticing when I'm doing something for the wrong reasons. Befriending oneself is the only mechanism for learning when it's time to let go. Previously, I operated in a very harmful way that let my accomplishments define how much love I deserved. If I achieved this body weight, published this research, could do the most pirouettes in the class, then I would be happy. Over time, I realized self-worth isn't about external accomplishments. Each of us is already worthy of happiness, peace, and love. When we begin to see our innate worth, we can make the choices that help us flourish. Undoubtedly, perseverance is critical to reaching many goals. However, if your reasons for persisting do not involve feeding your own soul, it might be time to step away. It's okay to face the fear of letting others down and embrace the vulnerability of the unknown. As Buddhist nun Pema Chodron explains in her book When Things Fall Apart, quote, "Only to the extent that we expose ourselves over and over to annihilation can that which is indestructible be found in us," end quote. Our most profound opportunities for growth arise as we become intimate with our constraining fears. It is time to promote an atmosphere of support where it's okay to change our minds and throw in the towel on an old goal. Dance was something I truly loved, but as I entered high school, I realized doing it 26 hours a week took the fun out of it, made me insecure, and robbed me of other social experiences. I learned to give myself permission to let go. Quitting the dance academy didn't mean I had to stop expressing myself. It just meant I got to open my eyes to new truths and opportunities. Now, I would like to leave you with permission to close any doors in life that are holding you back, and encouragement to notice all the open doors around you. You just listened to the post titled Doors Worth Closing by Ginna Martineau. And thank you to Ginna for that great piece. Super relevant for me, that's why I really liked it. A little bit selfish there. My business partner Lee and I have been trying to pare down what we're working on and really focus on the essential. So great advice there. Again, the article is posted at oldpodcast.com. And a big thank you to Dr. Patti for putting this all together as usual. He's been one of my closest friends for over a quarter of a century. If you want to reach out to him, I have his info in the article too. That's at oldpodcast.com in the blog. And thank you for listening and being here and for subscribing to the show. If you're new here, it's easy and free to listen every day. You can have each episode sent to you automatically in the free podcast app of your choice simply by subscribing, including on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts, pretty much any app that plays podcasts for free. Just search for Optimal Living Daily and hit subscribe or sometimes follow. And again, happy birthday to my business partner, Lee. I'll be back tomorrow as usual where your optimal life awaits.